Hi, this is Mark from Altcoin Buzz, and thanks for joining me again for some more technical analysis on the charts. We're going to look at some coins today. There's a lot that's been happening, obviously, in the market, so we'll take a look at some of the coins that are big. We'll look at some of the coins that you've asked about, and we're going to have some fun drilling down and seeing if we can make sense of it. Let's get started. Okay, so let's start off with Ethereum on the USD one-day chart. I don't know what you guys do on the other side of the world, but it happens when I'm asleep and I wake up to a chart that looks like this. It's killing me. So on the one day you can see we had this nice upward swing, had a doji there, and then got this big bear candle. So you can see on the 8-hour chart we were trading in this channel here and just came too much pressure in there. Had to go somewhere either up or down, and it just released and went down. 4 8-hour candles all making a lower low. Our support level is in here at the $600 range, and you can see it acted as support back over in this area, close to resistance. Our resistance level is set at the 712 range, which we tapped into a couple times in this area, and over in here. The indicators that I look at, if you're not familiar with some of them, go back and look at my last video, but those are really indecisive at this point in time. So right now what I'm looking at is where we react to these support and resistance horizontally. And I'll drill down into the 1-hour chart to see if we can get any more information on this. If I go into the 1-hour chart, you can see that we've tapped on the support level a couple times. And we could narrow our trading range by drawing a line in here where we've had some resistance and narrow that down to a trading range of 600 to 650 or 645 in there, that range. So we've tested the support level twice. Can we bounce back off of this? And what are we going to do with this resistance level? What I'd want to see is us break through that and use this as support now at the 645 range. Because if we try and test this $600 level again, I think we'll just end up breaking through it. I'm not a professional financial advisor, okay? I just look at charts a lot. And if we do that, I'm going to be very nervous about where this coin goes from there. Cryptocurrency is a very volatile market. We see that. Things can change overnight just like they did to the positive a couple weeks last night. Let's look at Bitcoin next, the big boy, and then we'll look at Colossus XT, which is another coin that you guys asked about. So Bitcoin on the USD one-day chart had a really nice trend going on here. A little bit of a pullback today. Not pretty to wake up to. Let's go down to the 8-hour chart. Okay, on the 8-hour chart, here we go. This is the last 24 hours. Those 3 candles, all in red. Not pretty. You may have noticed on the last chart or not that we had this red line up here, and we were really focused kind of in this general area because we had the same thing going on here and wondering whether or not we were going to trend back down from there. But what happened was we actually came up and tested that level before we corrected. Now I'm going to show you in some of the charts coming up the Fibonacci tool, which was developed by a mathematician that noticed mathematical patterns in nature. And it's amazing how accurate this tool can be to help you, if you're just beginning, find general support and resistance areas. So this had been drawn and we weren't close to it, so I didn't mention it in the last video, but we did touch it and it acted as resistance for us. It's amazing how close this tool can come to showing us some of the patterns in a chart. So if we look at our first support levels and resistance levels, really we're kind of sitting at, looks like at a support level potentially here of $8,800. We'll drill down into the 1 hour and see how well that holds up. We'll have some more information to look at there, but this is just a rough estimate on the 8-hour chart. And then if we break through there, we'd be testing an 85.85 level, this red line down here. And let's just drill down a little bit in the 1 hour chart to see if we can determine kind of what direction we're going right now. So on a 1 hour chart, that 88.13 looks like it's a pretty solid area to be looking at. We've had some support and tests in there before, and we've tested it back in here. What we want to see now is how we react to this price, whether we break through level and dip down and make this our new support level. So when we break through a current support level, that now becomes our resistance, right? And then we're looking to the next step down, logical step down, to see if that becomes our new support. So now we're back on the 8-hour chart. The indicators on the 8-hour chart show that the bears have started taking control over Bitcoin a little bit. But what we're going to want to do is watch over the next 12 hours to see ultimately how we test this current potential support level and then where we go from there. So that's Bitcoin for you. Okay, one of the coins you asked about was Colossus coin. So let's take a look at Colossus coin, sitting at about, call it 0.2 of a penny, down 10%. Looks like they just came out with a new wallet and looking to try and get on OK Exchange. They're currently on Cryptopia Trades, Satoshi, and Crypto Bridge. So getting on OK Exchange wouldn't be like getting on Binance or anything, but would be helpful, I guess. I already went to the website. Looks like this is a privacy coin and super fast exchange rate and all of that kind of stuff. One of the things that you can do on these coins is go to the Explorer and see if they've got a blockchain or any kind of tracking that gives you some information on what's going on here. One of the things that I like to look at is just recent activity, and then go to the wallets, see what people have. Okay, this makes me nervous. You've got quite a few people here with a number of different wallets, which I don't like because that leads me to believe that there may be some potential for dripping some of these coins into the market to try and pump up the price a little bit, do a little pump and dump. 6 hours here, 6, yeah, all recent, all pretty close together. That makes me nervous. 1.5, call it 3, 4, quarter, 5, 6, 7, 8, almost 10%, it looks like, of these coins are controlled by those multi-wallet and relatively new users. That makes me nervous. I don't like that. Let's go see what's going on with the chart on CoinGecko. 28% liquidity, 152,000 in trading volume, relatively low. I got some price action in here when the rest of the market started responding. A big spike up here. So you're trading in about a 0.2 of a cent range now. In the last 60 days, you've been as high as the 0.3 of a cent. And over the history of the coin, the all-time high has been at just a little bit over a penny. So it's like playing with penny stocks, right? You get in and see what happens. Are you happy with going from 1/2 penny to a penny? Potentially doubling your money that way? You hoping to go from 1/10 of a penny to like 10 cents? You know, this is not really, for me, this is not the kind of coin that I'm involved in, but those are the kinds of things that I'd be asking myself if I were to potentially jump into a coin like this. Okay, let's take a look at EOS, another coin that you asked about. This chart is right now on a 1 day against Bitcoin, and you can see it's a pretty looking chart, right? We came up on a nice upswing, corrected at a 45-degree angle, and now we're back on that 45-degree angle up. One thing that I want to show you on this chart, and I've used it on some of the other charts to confirm some of our support and resistance level, is the Fibonacci. Now this is a Fibonacci retracement tool. It's based on some mathematics that Fibonacci saw basically in different patterns. And if I take this last cycle where we were low and come up to the top of that cycle where we started back on this downward trend, this tool doesn't know anything except for this range, right? And whenever we're looking at charts, we're looking for patterns anyway. I know it looks like random lines sometimes and random charts and all of that stuff, but in general, we're looking for patterns. And this is a pattern that this mathematical equation comes up with. I'll show you how it works both ways. So right now, you can see these are kind of the golden levels here in this green area. Each one of these represents a potential support and resistance line for us. Here was a resistance area. Here was a support level. Then we came down to this support level, and we're at this support level and bouncing off of it. So amazing how accurate this tool can be. Now if we do it again, this time from over here, because we had this trend and we now are moving up from there, this was the cycle. It's just amazing. Look, we've got right in here, little resistance support, right in here, some resistance and support, right in here, some support. Let's blow this up a little bit. Basically some support in there, a little bit of resistance right in here, some support right in here. It's amazing how accurate this tool can be. And look at, again, just by, and we just did a quick line here. If I went to this low, we're very close to this resistance level right here. So if we just merely went off of the Fibonacci retracement tool that we just used, then we could say that this double lot 11 is a potential support level for us, but we're still on this upward trend. So our next resistance level is going to be this double lot 175. So double lot 1128 as a support, potentially, and double lot 1753 as a resistance level on this coin. Now if we break through here, theoretically this could become our support level now, and then we'd be looking at this level up here. Now I typically break up the day into 3 segments, so I'll look at the 8-hour chart most of the time. I like looking at the day chart just to give me a general direction of what's going on, and then I'll look at the 8-hour chart to see if anything major is happening. And if I look at all the indicators on this chart and just kind of stack them all together, this chart's looking like the bulls have total control over this chart at this point in time. Some of the other indicators are also looking like we might be into an overbought situation here, so we could see this drop down a little bit, although our lower time frames, let's see what those look like. So on the 1-hour chart, you can see we're taking a little bit of a downtrend here that kind of double tested this area a little bit. So if we break through this, our next level of support is in here, and then if we can bounce off of this line, then we'll be looking at this as resistance and see if we can't break through and make this our new support area. And I'm looking for those patterns and using some of these tools just to give me an idea of generally where a coin sits, because I'm looking for those big swings, not trying to get in and make $25, $10, 1%, 0.5% gain on any coin 3, 4, 5 times a day. I'm looking for the big swings in the market and staying into a coin for more a long-term trade. Looking at NEO against Bitcoin on a 1-day chart, hitting a little bit of a downtrend against Bitcoin. On an 8-hour chart, we were trading in this channel pretty regularly, with exception to this dip here, which could be the same kind of action that we have going on here. Our support level sitting right around that 0.008 Satoshis. We had it here, and now we've got it, looks like stacking up right in here. Our first resistance level will be where we had some resistance here and some support back here at the 0.00835 range. And then you really kind of have this trend line as a resistance level, depending on where it comes back up into that, if it can break through here. But our horizontal resistance level is set at the 0.0089. We could see ourselves going into a correction phase, unless we can hop back on this price action trend line right here. Some of the indicators are showing that we might be into an oversold situation on NEO. So in this case, I'm going to drill down again into the hourly chart to see if we can get any indication on whether or not we'll be bouncing off of this area that we talked about. And on the 1-hour chart, you can see it's really kind of too soon to tell whether or not we're going to trade in this channel. And the 1 hour, you could actually probably tighten this line up because you had some support against it in here, and you can see we touched on it here. So this channel becomes potentially where we consolidate unless we can break through that resistance line and find another home in here somewhere. And so that's NEO for you. Okay, so wrapping it up for today, don't forget to leave your comments below on the coins that you would like us to evaluate for you, and we'll try and get to as many of those as we can. Also, follow us on Twitter at AltCoinBuzzIO. Follow us on Instagram at AltCoinBuzz. Check out our podcast. It's all new and exciting. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and the alert button so that you know when all the new content's coming on. It comes on all the time from a number of different folks. Also, check us out on Discord and Telegram. We're all over the place. Until next time, good luck with your trades.